Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Krod7435. Um, uh, how should I really say this? Number one, fuck you to the Warriors, and fuck you to the Thunder. I need to say this in a way where it is not going to be derogatory, because I still love, Russell Westbrook, but these Warriors fans are complete bitches at the end of the day. And I think, as me as a Chicago Bulls fan and a New York Knicks fan, two tribes don't make it better when you start spilling blood on them to the sand. But when you spill blood onto the sand, it only works until you have to basically try to settle the score on who's better. See, now, we have two good players by the name of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Two people that have been drafted basically the same year and played alongside with James Harden, who then wanted to leave because he wanted more money to find his career to become a more volatile and more star-like player, in which he is doing really good because it took him nearly fucking 4 to 5 years to find his crest of skill. See, now, with Westbrook and Durant, we now see the anger that everybody wants to see. But the thing is that, how come that when we see this connection that has been basically like a Naruto and Sasuke, but it just turned into a fucking evil, more like a demisable, rivalry, because we are about to see how Russell Westbrook has his thoughts on playing with KD in the All-Star weekend, in which it is not that far away, and I think that what I'm going to hear is the most devastating words that you would not want to feel happy as a player, because you know that this nigga fucking turned his back against you, and you don't even find him as your friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would you feel if you had to fight somebody? Like, let's just say you're like a boxer, and then your friend was the champion, but you were jealous that he won because you got fucked over in a fucking decision. Or he probably got paid more money by the guy that endorsed him, so he obviously was going to get the title anyway. Versus you, who busts his ass every day, and then you're just like, bro, when can I get there? It's like, that's basically where Russell Westbrook stands. And you guys can dislike the video, you guys can try to tell me, oh, you're fucking stupid, but no, I'm not stupid. Russell Westbrook is a beast. And if Russell Westbrook was watching this video, dude, bro, because I say to this nigga, like, dude, because I like you, bro, no homo. But, I mean, Russell Westbrook has proven to the NBA that he doesn't need a team to back him up. He can back himself up and put the team on his back. But let's go over this video. We're going to see a lot of bullshit from the Warriors fans. And, yeah, let's go.
Better not get in my face. Because I'll drop that motherfucker. Jesus.
Just to let you know, Steph Curry has not really played well. And due to the fact that we have realized that the Warriors, they're not the same team as they once were. And legit, I think it's because of KD, because KD has only ran the team more to make himself better whenever he has the ball. But Curry, along with Thompson and Draymond, are like the main firepower of the team. But then you have Iggy along with JaVale McGee that can clean up along with Sean Livingston. So, because I kind of find it really fucked up, because it's like, yes, the Warriors, they have a stacked team, but it's like, these niggas obviously get the call more, because it's like, because I tend to see it with more powerful teams that are higher tier, and they get more foul calls like the Cavs would, and you obviously see them once again within the NBA Finals. But who am I to say, because basketball is professional in the NBA. So it's like, no, like, I don't give a fuck about that.
said amazing, the best.
Which I was completely right, because Russell Westbrook, he does not care. Like, like if you hear from his voice, he's a nice guy. And I could tell because Russell Westbrook, he is one out of the very fewest players within the NBA that stays humble. And he's like almost like Derrick Rose to a certain extent, but he uses it in his own way of words to say, look, because I'm just here to win a chip. I don't give a fuck about who's telling me to go F off. And look, Russell Westbrook, he's been through the injuries like Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade. So what good is that for him, as well as people denying D Rose like he can't bring himself back up? So with Westbrook being like top 5 scoring players within the whole league and averaging more triple doubles than any other point guard would be, wouldn't you think that Westbrook would be to the point where he can prove to people within his rankings of a point guard position to say, look, y'all niggas were talking about KD trying to beat me, but look at the numbers that I'm pulling up over fucking KD. KD can't beat that. Let's just hear what he has to say.
In all sports, like I said before, they're supporting us regardless of ups or downs, and they did a good job of cheering us on and giving us some life tonight. So it's good.
Russell, that third quarter was a little trippy, not just with you, but with Andre too. What was going on there?
Exactly what you said. It got chippy.
How do you feel that the team responded to that chippiness in that third quarter?
Thought we did great.
Were you surprised by how much boos there were for your former teammate?
No, I wasn't.
Anyone else for
Russell, you ever been in a game with an atmosphere quite like that?
Yeah, honestly, when I used to be in the league, I used to get booed in all arenas. So,
So right out the gates, Westbrook, he makes his point to say that how much struggle he has been through to get up to the point of caliber of how good of a player he is built to be. And to be honest is that we see it out of most players. Every player within the NBA has its ups and downs. But when you see it with Russell Westbrook, we can't obviously just say, okay, well, Westbrook, he's good, but he's not that good. No. Westbrook is far from being good. He's far from being a superstar. No, Russell Westbrook will go down to become a legend if he continues to produce at the level that he's doing right now. And I think the problem is that with a lot of people who are doubters of Russell Westbrook, they have focused their main attention to KD because he's finally on a winning team that could bring him his first title. But would you say that KD can overbeat Russell Westbrook when clearly Westbrook has put more numbers than he would ever do? So how this really plays into factor is that Russell Westbrook, he's not even being called out for most of the things that anybody would try to get him for. He's doing more work than any other player could really try to criticize him on. But no, at the end of the day, you're going to be hearing things that Russell Westbrook is very well known to be, and I think a lot of people should really watch out for Westbrook more than Durant, because it's like he's more volatile. And what good is that for Durant to fucking be put up for what top 5 scoring, top 5 scoring players, and then what? Like, who are they going to give the scoring title to when it comes down to the higher debate to say, okay, we'll give the scoring title to Durant because we feel like that he's been putting in more work. But no, clearly, when we look at Russell Westbrook, he's been averaging more triple-doubles than Durant. So no, we'll still give it to Durant because he's Kevin Durant. He was supposed to win a title up against the Miami Heat back in 2012. Like, when both Westbrook and fucking Durant worked their asses off inside the fucking gym and fucking consistently to play their game. And back in 2015 could have been their year, but guess what? Durant wasn't being fucking serious, right? Because that motherfucker did not want to, connect too well with Westbrook back in 2015. And guess what? Guess where that led them to? That led them to a very bullshit year to the very start of the season of 2016. But you would obviously have to say that he was very lucky to make it to the Western Conference Finals once again, because Dion Waiters was pulling up. He was making those numbers. He was helping out most of those, plays that the Oklahoma City Thunder wouldn't be able to do. So for people like critics like fucking TMZ and many other bullshit news like mainstream networks, they try to make like KD look like he's some fucking basically some fucking godly figure, like he can be like the best motherfucker out there. But no, when you compare numbers with a fucking like Russell Westbrook, like along with KD, you would be knowing to your mind that Russell Westbrook has been working harder than fucking KD. So don't you ever try to come at me to try to say, oh well, KD is better than Westbrook because he's been putting in more more caliber into his points per game. But no, when you look at it at more records to say who's been putting in more work for rebounds and then like assists, you will never say that KD will ever get up to that level because Russell Westbrook has been putting more triple doubles than fucking KD. Dude, it's not even a fucking debate with people with KD. It's like, yes, because I respected him, which I still do, but no. To the very end of the day, you have to go after your favorite players and criticize them because they need to get the same amount of criticism as if you were trying to go after racist people that did not make any fucking sense. So for Kevin Durant to get all this fucking hip hop glory, it's like, dude, fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you. But no. But if you're going to be that fucking stupid to call out your own teammate, in which you call him your actual rival, then you're a complete bitch. Fuck you, Durant.
The tables has turned a little bit, so I've been there and did that before. So happens, come out, compete, and it is what it is.
What did you think of the way that
the next time you see a bunch of these guys, it'll be as teammates in New Orleans? What's that going to be like?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
considering the way the last game played out with Zaza Pachulia?
Alright, right out the gates, when you look at his expression, it makes you kind of think like he is really pissed. Which I really do want to say, for this All-Star game, we might be seeing something that Russell Westbrook would never have a good vibe in. Because if you do remember from last year, he was actually the most valuable player that was putting in more numbers that game to be basically well known for his performance. But no, when you really look at it, this nigga was fucking busting ass, and then obviously that was Kobe's basically last year to play. But I mean, when you look at it, it's like, do you think Russell Westbrook would have the same amount of performance as he did last year? Do you think him and Katie would really get along if it was coming to a play in which they can both come back to their senses and say, look, we're teammates, but no, we're treating each other like fucking killer rivals. So, that's the biggest confusion that I have on my end, because I don't know how Katie could actually revert himself back to the player that he would be. But, let's just say into basic common terminology, would Katie ever have that point in his life to say, let me just rethink about what I want to do, and maybe, just maybe, if I do win myself a ring, should I go back to OKC and bring it back to another favor between me and my old partner? That's just something that a lot of people should really consider, because, because if I was Kevin Durant, I would definitely go back to OKC, because I have touched a lot of kids' minds, and I have helped many people within that community that have loved me, that have given me more support than any other team would. But it doesn't matter until it happens with a chip. But I mean, the fans still love me, and look, he's one most valuable player. But you guys can't say that Kevin Durant is trash. He's been putting in work. So why would you try to say that he's a bad player? It's just something that people need to think about, the little things between teammates and then dynamic duos, because I think that's our biggest issue with how we run. But continue, my fellow Westbrook.
What did you think of the way that you guys stood your ground tonight, particularly with Andre and Kevin kind of coming face to face in that third quarter?
Pretty good.
Do you think it's silly that so many people care about you and KD and what y'all think?
Yeah, I do. I think it's doesn't make any sense. It's over with. He plays for his team. I play with my team. Let him do his thing. I do my thing, and that's it. Plain and simple.
Russell, do you consider this between the Thunder and the Warriors a rivalry?
No.
Why?
Because I don't.
Right out the gates, because I don't know what Russell Westbrook was saying, but I guess, like, oh wait, hold on, just continue it more. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yo, that is pretty funny when you really think about it, because Russell Westbrook, he don't fuck around, bro. And the thing is that when you look at the caliber of what, Westbrook has really done for the game, he does not give a fuck. But for KD to really come out and say that he is the best player that anybody could ever see him play, I find it very unflawless, because KD has weaknesses, and we have seen it so far this year when him and LeBron James have gone after each other in the regular season. But I think KD is still not that good. LeBron is still one step higher than KD. We have seen it in drills. We have seen it in practice. We have seen it in preseason. We can know that KD, he still has a lot of deficiencies within his game. And I say it's mostly defense, because it's like, yeah, Kevin Durant, he could play defense, but he's soft whenever the physical contact gets with him, because he knows he's more likely to get drawn in with a foul. I don't know. It's just like, when you look at his body build, it makes me think like he's a little teenager, like within a tall ass body, and he just doesn't act serious whenever it's time to really clamp the fuck up. But continue, Emperor KD.
It's fun in general, especially when you're playing in an environment like this. The crowd was amazing tonight. They were loud, as loud as I ever heard them here.
But that's why you were so fucking afraid to fucking come out there and actually rep out for your team. And then when those niggas were really fucking guarding you, you actually were kind of lucky enough to play your game to the highest degree standard. What really bothers me is, like, how come that when Durant faces the Thunder, he's just blasting out crazy? Like, he's just going out, doing what he gotta do. And then what? He just dominates like the whole. Basically, he just dominates like the whole game. It just doesn't make any sense, because I just feel like, from my perspective, if you're gonna because if you're gonna face like your old team that you once played, then basically shouldn't you have like a little bit of like a off game if you're actually within that type of pressure? Like, that's something to think about.
Like I said, it's a part of the game.
What did it mean to have your teammates have you back with the support with the cupcake shirts when they came out?
They had that on?
Yeah, they had them on.
Yo, I like to hear what he got to say. Oh, yeah, what he has to say about that.
Draymond and them Steph.
They did.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they came out and played great tonight, all of us as a team, and that's what's most important.
How about your mom being here tonight? How important was that?
Yeah, she always been supporting me, so, this was a game that she wanted to be at, and she wanted to experience that as well, so glad.
Well, I still have respect for your mom. She's always like the coolest, person to hear.
She came.
I think it's tough for her to sit and hear those chants and stuff.
Like I said, we've been counting out our whole lives, so it ain't nothing new to us.
What was the feeling and emotion hearing those boos during player intros?
I was locked in. I was just worried about the guys on the floor on both teams. So, if you're not in between those lines, you really don't matter.
You mentioned that it's over. This has been something in the distance that I know you've been thinking about. Now it's behind you. Are you glad about that?
Yeah.
And you know what? There's something in a conversation where when you see it in most people, they have a strong desire to really say what they want to say, but they try to hold it back, like as if it's the right thing to do for the media not to get all spiced up about what you have feelings towards your other team, your other culture of people that have supported you, or crowd, let me just put it like that into best terms. But I think with KD, like, think about it. If this nigga really wins a title, how does that change the NBA? How do we see the Warriors in the next few years? Will we see more titles coming to OKC? If KD wants to go back there, or could we see another remix of newer players taking over the West? And could we see any future trades and future stars? Like, I mean, Steph Curry had agreed to testing free agency, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to act like that I'm right on point with the facts, but he would be more highly interested to go to Chicago if free agency would be able to be a part of his choice of teams, which I did hear about that, but I should probably look that up on YouTube if that's ever possible. But no, like, it's good that Kevin Durant, he's taking over the West a little bit better, but we have to see after this year because shit, like let's just say that my Bulls won the finals. I'm not saying that we would, but I mean, if Wade somehow pulled off a miracle, it would be the most biggest upset in NBA history, and Kevin Durant would probably retire because Dwayne Wade knows how to beat him. And I think, Dwayne Wade at his age right now is really bad to the point where, you need to find the younger players to pull up for your team. Because, I mean, the older players, oh yeah, they can definitely make it to a playoff run, and they can definitely compete. But, I mean, if you don't have anybody supporting you, not to the slightest bit, then you're fucked. You are so fucked on defense. You are so fucked onto the playoffs. But, I mean, it's not true because people who were old, like the Celtics, have won titles, and, dude, it's not that easy, but, I mean, you can still ball the fuck out. So, what does this mean for Kevin Durant? Like, could we see a rise out of KD, or will we see the same Kevin Durant that was back within OKC? Which I say that I put all blame on you because you cared about the game, but you didn't care about what your teammates were trying to criticize you on because you wanted to become better than everybody else, standing right inside the whole fucking team of the whole chemistry. So that's why I think, it really bothers the whole fan base because they're like, dude, quit bitching, quit complaining, and start playing your fucking game. Wow. Like, do I really need to try to say this? Because I shouldn't be saying this as a fucking NBA, basically as a NBA fan.
To come back here one more time, do you expect it to be as hostile?
Yep.
The next time you played arguably 3 of your best games this season.
Wait, did she just say, wait, hold on. Go back to that.
The next time you played arguably 3 of your best.
Expect it to be as hostile.
Yep.
Bad about that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You gotta come back here one more time. Do you expect it to be as hostile?
Yep.
The next time
I mean, let's just say if the Warriors really beat the Thunder one more time, I'll be surprised because that will be the very first season sweep of having the Warriors dominate the Thunder. And I mean, let's just say if the Warriors really run into the Thunder, it would be the biggest, most collided, matchup ever. And I mean, we know that Westbrook can lead himself to the finals if he really worked his ass off, but his biggest competition is the Thunder and the Spurs. Like, why don't we talk about Kawhi Leonard? Like, I mean, Kawhi Leonard is legit a mini Michael Jordan. But let's just continue.
Played arguably 3 of your best games this season against the Thunder.
I wouldn't say that. I think I've done a lot of. I played some good games this year, and I think I've scored the ball well. But I think in other games I've put together a full game as far as assists, blocks, steals. So, but it's good.
You have not averaged more fucking like assists than fucking Russell Westbrook. Oh nah, you just made me want to research that, and we will look up your stats, and I will compare that with Russell Westbrook, NBA stats. Alright. We are going to compare that along with Russell Westbrook. So this is his minutes per game, FG, PPG. Alright, you average 25.9 points per game. You average 8.4 rebounds, 4.8 assists per game. Okay. And 1.7 blocks per game. So now, let us find Russell Westbrook. Alright. Let's go find our boy, because obviously Van Vliet is playing in the fucking NBA. He is beast. He is beast all day. Okay. Let's take a good look at our boy, Russell Westbrook. Oh wow. Durant, where have you been? Where have you been on boards? 31.2 points per game. 10.5 rebounds, 10.2 assists, 0.4 blocks per game because he doesn't block that much. But Durant, you do realize that this nigga is fucking, he is murdering you. Limp dick. Hold on, I gotta check up on time. Alright. But let's finish up with the rest of this. Wow. You are a complete disaster.
To make shots, that's I'm a scorer, and I like putting the ball in the basket. But I put together some full games throughout the season, and just trying to keep getting better, keep improving every day, keep working on my game.
You said you wanted to touch base with some of the ushers and things like that. Were you able to do that? Was that satisfying for you?
Yep, definitely good to see them, man. It's that's the real life part of this.
Kevin, I know you're trying to look ahead at what you're doing with the Warriors, but if you guys won Game 6 here against the Warriors last year, do you think you would have left?
I don't know. I don't know. Looking forward, I'm not looking backwards.
What's it been like for you to see them kind of struggle at times, even in these games you've played?
Responded to you.
Oh man, I know Drake, right? It's all in the game. None is going to sleep off on the floor, man. Off the floor. It's part of the game. I respect that.
And that's what I like about him, because I don't see the douchebaggery out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I tend to think like, 9 times out of 10, whenever I rant about Durant, before I ever got to this point of being angry towards him, I've always thought of him to be like a cool, collected guy. And I mean, like, because I want Durant to win a title, but I wanted it to happen in OKC. And then, if anything, if he actually did win a title and he wanted to go to a different team, I would have respected that more rather than him doing it on a team that already was going to lose to him, and then he would have dominated the NBA Finals. I'm just saying, like guys, can we just come to terms and say, let's just say if Durant and LeBron face each other a second time, would we see a better matchup of the finals? Because the Warriors blew a fucking 3-1 lead, and legit Cleveland came back and fucking busted their asses through having the most rigged system throughout the whole fucking NBA Finals, and legit, because I feel like that is the biggest L that the Warriors can take, and that's why I don't like Durant being on the Warriors. If you guys can 100% tell me why this is a good fit for him, then I will totally respect that. Durant has no hate from me, and then I would like to see him pull up more numbers than fucking Russell Westbrook, and rebounds and fucking assists per game. I'm just saying.
Just kept playing. I don't even think they should have reviewed anything. It's a part. Hard fouls, shit talking. All that stuff's a part of the game. That's what makes the game fun for us.
What about the talking with Russell? During the timeout, you guys are going off the floor talking to each other?
It's part of the game.
Was it fun? Was it? You wish it didn't happen? Or?
Basketball is fun in general, especially when you're playing in an environment like this. The crowd was amazing. Loud, as loud as I ever heard them. And like I said, it's a part of the game.
What do you mean to have your teammates have you back with the support with the cupcake shirts when they came up? What's up with the shirt, man?
Oh, they made them here. Somebody out there blessed me with one. So
KD didn't take offense to it? You wearing it?
I don't know. You have to ask him. But you know, I was blessed with a shirt. I want to support Cupcake. So.
It's a good shirt, man.
What do you think of the atmosphere tonight? What you expected, more or less?
Really don't know what to expect when it comes to like how personal, you know, a lot of people take it. His return here, but for us, this is very, very similar to what we've experienced in the playoffs coming into this building specifically. So it wasn't anything new for the guys that have been in this visiting locker room before and played a meaningful game. And I think that showed tonight.
How about for Kevin, though? I mean, he's been in this building plenty of times and they're cheering him. And tonight, just kind of what he faced. What do you just think about how he handled it?
I thought he handled it great. I mean, it's hard, man. I'm assuming it's hard. I haven't been in this position, but just knowing how much history you have here and familiar faces from back here in the tunnel to out on the court, all the great memories he's had here. You want to be able for him to really focus on basketball, but not cheat the experience of just coming back and playing here for the first time. And I think he handled it great. Obviously, played well. Had his dust ups like we all do, and kept it moving.
Anyone with type 2 diabetes knows how it feels to see your numbers go up, despite your best.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hold up. I am sorry that I did not look into that, but let me just finalize on what I think about that whole scandal. Or no, not scandal, like the whole thing. Yeah, Katie, he sounds more collected, of what he thought about the game. I really was trying to think that Katie was going to get angry and like he was going to get fired up, but I mean, no, like I don't really see KD being like that crazy on the whole issue. But if we could really see it, we might see another, revamped, season from the Warriors. So I don't know, like I just gotta check it out and see. Only time will tell. Alright guys, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys around. Peace.